Hi, I'm Femi OK, and you're in the stream. Today, you may have heard of cricket diplomacy or even ping pong diplomacy, but what's hip hop diplomacy? So for one show only, I am MC Femme Fatal, sitting next to MC Queen Bilal.
I like that.
I can't say,
ring to it.
Yo. The guests in the studio are laughing at me already.
Naturally.
Getting them into the mood. All right, so we're talking about the power of hip hop. What can it really do? Even diplomacy. What are you seeing online?
Well, I think what our audience realizes is that this is not something new. So I want to share this tweet. This is Louis Armstrong, who's a U.S. jazz musician, and his wife during a cultural diplomacy trip to Egypt in 1961. So this is something, and he was sent by the U.S. State Department. This is something that has been going on for a while. So of course, we want those of you at home to join in on this conversation with what you think about this. Use hashtag AJStream.
And joining us here on the set, we have Mazi Mutafa. He is the Executive Director of Words, Beats and Life. That's a hip-hop non-profit located right here in Washington, D.C. Also with us, we have Bangladeshi rapper Black Zang. Black Zang,
yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very
give
much.
us an introduction, hip-hop style in Bangla.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Everybody knows it. I'm busy. সকাল সকাল সুট বুট টাই পরে সবাই দেখি ভাগে অফিস আদালতে ঢাকা সিটির মাঝে কালা কইরা পোলা আছে কেউ জানে না ভাই ওর সম্পর্কে আহমরি তেমন কিছু না খুব বেশি পার্থক্য নাই আমার ওগো মা যে ও ঘুম ভাঙে কালা টাকা বেডে আমার ঘুম ভাঙে আমার নিজের স্বপ্নের রাজ্যে. Yes.
Okay, all right. Are you in the mood? I hope so.
I am.
More from our guests in just a moment.
Quicky, tell them my journey now. I'm Kulel. Stay connected. I'm in the stream. Come from Mali, represent.
Rappers from around the world are using their unique brand of hip-hop to build bridges between cultures, ease conflict and even bring about social and political change in their homelands. The once uniquely American genre of music has been adapted by artists over the past 3 decades, discussing a whole range of issues in places you probably wouldn't expect.
كتشوفوا فيها اللحم رخيص كيتباع كتشوف فيكم كي هي بغات تكون كتشوفوا فيها شفت الدل شفت المدلول تبيع في شرافه حيت نتوما شاري لي كي منين تدوز من حداكم ديروا فيها مسلمين تعيش خوتها حيت تمام ساكن هما عايشين في الكريان وانت في الفيلا ساكن ما تلوموهمش ما تشفاوش ما تسبوش.
From Rabat, we have Moroccan hip-hop artist Soultana, whose song Soultana, the voice of women you just heard. More from her in a moment. And from Istanbul, Iranian hip-hop artist Salome Mc, whose song The Price of Freedom you just heard a sample of. Great to have you all here in the program, hip-hop artist and Mazi as well. Soultana, rap in Morocco. How did you get to be a hip-hop artist in Morocco? What was the draw for you?
Yeah, for the first time it was just a kind of like music, new music that came to Morocco. I was studying in ALC, American Language Center, and I discovered all kinds of hip hop, gospel, funk, pop, all kinds of music and dance. And then I started to do something like freestyle in the street with guys. And at that time it wasn't for women, it was just for men. But after that, I started with creating the first girls band in Morocco. We were 4 girls named Tigers Flow. We won a lot of prizes in Morocco, and then we started do a lot of things, music for women, talking about women issues, about poverty, about abuse, mentally and physically abuse. And then I continued alone, solo. And I released a song named Women's Voice that you just listened to. And for me, it's not now in 2015, it's not the same as it used to be, because now there is a lot of artists, there is a lot of women movements, there is a lot of things that happen, there's a lot of changing. So it was hard for me for the first time, but now I think it's a little bit easy. And even the people, they change their mentalities. Now they know that women or men, they are the same. And as you are a rapper, a male rapper, I'm a female rapper, I'm talking about what women's facing in their journeys, in their days, and the same as you with male stuffs.
So Tana,
This
as
is
you're
it.
speaking, BZ is doing this. Like BZ is like completely, what you're saying is resonating. But BZ, you're rapping in Bangla.
Right, exactly.
In Bangladesh.
Right, exactly.
How does it resonate? What Soultana is saying in Morocco?
Like when we were like starting doing hip hop, then we're like trying like yeah, we should be get down with the original hip hop tune, but it should be touched with our own culture, you know. So the reason we started doing it Bangla, because Bangladesh is the only country who really fought for their own mother language. So that's the reason it's our pride. So we shouldn't miss it. So that's the reason we do it Bangla. It's more comfort, it's more catchy, and yeah, it's unique. It's totally unique. And I think, yeah, language is a part, but the main part is like flow. If you get crazy flow, even though people can't understand the language, they'll get the flow. They'll appreciate it. That's the main part, you know.
You know, I think it's interesting that you said that, because we got this tweet from Stephanie, and she says, while there are differences in language, the delivery of hip hop lends itself to being seen as a window into other people's experiences. So Salome, I wanted to go to you with that and asking how you make your hip hop your own. I know that you rap in Farsi occasionally.
Yeah. I think, well, for me, hip hop has always been really personal. As in, when I first started rapping, well, I was really like a kind of troubled teenager, and it was really for me a place to go to channel all my frustrations and all the feeling, the outsider feeling that I had. And in Iran, maybe it's a little bit different when it comes to the music, because there's not really a lot of the live music doesn't really happen much. So for us, it was the relationship that I had with music was in my headphone, in my bedroom, really personal, in my really personal space all the time. So when I started making my own music and writing my own lyrics, and later on making my own beats, and it's always produced in my own bedroom, so personal. I also wanted my audience to listen to my music, also have that personal experience, and listen in their own space, and just so yeah.
So how do you get that music out of your bedroom and into your audience's ears? How do they get to hear you in Iran?
So fortunately, when I started, internet was already established, maybe not as fast as today, but it was there, so we could upload it to, there was some, back then, there was some other social media, like, I know there was Orkut and other platforms that we could share your music. And after that, of course, there was YouTube, and then SoundCloud and all the other different platforms that we could share and expand. And in Iran, when I first started, we were really like a few other people who started hip hop in Iran. I was the first female rapper, and then a few other friends were, it was all just really so new. This is like 15 years ago. And then now it's a crazy, like in all, there's all these websites, and Iran has its own kind of closed, maybe, because it's a little bit different from other countries when it comes to how the arts and music is shared, because most of it you cannot really do it publicly because of the governmental rules in the society. But when it comes to internet, it can get pretty free, but because of a lot of filtering in the internet and everything, like in China, there's all these platforms also specific for the Iranian inside the Iran. And it just gets shared crazily. You just put one song out there.
You share. There's a way of sharing. There's a way of sharing where a lot of artists are now saying, well, how do we get paid for our artistry? You share, and you get what?
You get love, and you get experience.
All right, so you get love.
Sharing.
So Tana, how do you get paid from your music? You share and you get what?
You just share it on YouTube, on Facebook, on other stuff, like other social network places. But for making music from this music, from rap music, especially in Morocco, it's so hard, because you can't sell your music, you can't sell your albums, and all you need is concerts, is events and stuff. But to share your music, it's simple because of YouTube and other social networks.
So Mazi, you hear them talking about how they share that music with these audiences. There's a little bit of pushback online here that I'm going to share with you. This is from Krista, and she says hip hop almost always has a disempowered audience. At its best, it rallies and unites them, that audience, but it doesn't create change and it doesn't create dialogue. Has that been your experience? What would you say to that?
So I think that the critique is a fair one. I think part of the challenge that the artists aren't necessarily speaking to is the absence of infrastructure to be able to support their artistic careers, so that things that exist in the United States to be able to help artists get royalties don't necessarily exist around the world. And so part of the beauty of what it is they're doing is getting their message out, sharing their craft, their talent, their passion.
It's more pure because they're not after the money.
Well, I don't know too many artists who want to be starving artists. Usually the people who don't want to pay them want them to be starving artists. But I think that what's the difference is that money isn't the motivation.
Right.
It is about sharing their stories, having community identify with them. I was in Senegal maybe a month ago, and I had one of the most interesting experiences with a local MC, which was that at the end of the performance, the crowd rushed the stage because they wanted his autographs. It wasn't about, and for him, it wasn't about selling units or about being famous around the world, but he was super famous in his community.
Sure. Busy, you're here in the US right now.
Yep.
First time out of Bangladesh.
It is.
Great to have you
And
here.
it's only for hip hop.
What are you doing here? There is a reason, right?
Yeah, I'm here for next level global community, you know.
Yeah.
It's a cultural exchange program among its
Run
5
by
countries.
the United States State Department.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What do they expect you to do?
It's like more than like making music. It's like, you know, education by hip hop, educating, you know, exchanging culture, and we'll get to learn some stuff from here and we'll apply back in our country.
Do you feel like maybe politicians are using you, the US government is using you in any way, or do you feel like you actually a hip hop envoy?
I don't think so, because it's all music. It's nothing, it's all music, it's all art. And I think everybody found about art and music, so no, I don't think so. It's a positive thing, yeah.
Sultana?
Yeah, I visited the United States of America with a program named IVL, and it wasn't to use me like in something, but it was to see United States of America, to see the people, how they are working, how they are doing their music. And yeah, when I came back from United States with this whole and long trip there, between a lot of states, I realized that in Morocco, we are all calling for like doing something and we need money to do this and this and this. But there, I realized that it's not like this. You can do something from nothing. Because I was invited by a lot of organizations, and I saw them like those people, they were doing a lot of things with nothing, without like calling for money or something. And that's the thing that I got from there. And now we just created our association, Youth Vision, and we are about to work with the youth people in music, especially in rap music, that we are going to promote them, and we are going to give them like workshops for rap music and for hip hop and all those things. So it was just great because it's a very big and important experience for me.
Well, online, what I am seeing is people picking up on this discussion of what the government's role in this diplomacy could look like. So there's a group of people who are tweeting us now, and they're using the hashtag #CultureFix. And those tweets are coming in. It's a collective of artists who use culture and the arts to try to effect change. So this is a video comment we got from someone using that hashtag. I'd like you all to have a listen to this.
Hey, this is Nora from CultureFix. I think that hip-hop can play a critical role in creating social change. And it does so because hip-hop artists in particular are trusted as being authentic and legitimate truth tellers in a society. Government can undermine that, and so it's a tricky line how artists and governments work together. At the same time, the government does have a responsibility to create cultural spaces for artists where arts can thrive. That's critical.
So Mazi, could you take us through that tricky, balance that she talked about with working with governments, but also speaking truth to power and power being governments?
I mean, so maybe it's because I was an English major in college, I only have a point of contention with the idea that governments have a responsibility to create that space. I think communities have a responsibility to make that space. One of the things that we talk about in hip hop, there's a concept of the cipher. It's a circle, it's how people perform and showcase, but one of the things that often doesn't get talked about is the people that make up the circle, the people that are called the audience. I think those people are protectors. Part of what they are entrusted to have is a role of protecting the artist and not just keeping their work pure, but ensuring that it doesn't get corrupted by outside money, that governments aren't allowed to manipulate what it is that people are doing. And I think that the video was right in that artists are entrusted with a level of responsibility because their work is sacred. But I also think that artists become vulnerable to governments or outside forces when they're not maintained by their communities. You know, this question you're asking about sharing versus buying. So how are these artists able to maintain their craft and their authenticity and their independence? Part of that has to come from community, or else government steps in and becomes the primary purchaser.
Let me show you a little bit, and you can hear a little bit of Salome Mc's work. So many different people from around the world are working on this number. Let me play a little bit, and then she can explain how they all got together.
As you ride aboard the sun. Yada hi yada 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 stan yada 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 mare yada mare yada mare yada hi yada vare yada stan yada arki kemiga nemiشه yada vare آیا میشه زنده بود و آنچه بود که میشه بود آیا درخت شاخه بود یا تنه بود یا ریشه بود چه گاهی تعریفات بیهوده است تزریقا آیا میشه زنده بود و خلاص از این تشریفات تا من از اول شب میکردم و هر شب حسابش ثبت میکردم و تا چه خوندم ثبت میکردم و از صبح تا شبش خط میکردم نوارم و 30 بار ثبت میکردم و آخر هر بار نفس حبس میکردم هر جام برم من بد میکردم.
So I can see Salome bopping around there. She's currently in Turkey, but this video was shot in Shanghai. How many other countries and artists were involved in this? It was like a mass United Nations project, not actually United Nations, but so many countries involved. Go ahead, tell us.
It's true, like, yeah, I know it looks like an odd bunch of things coming together, but first of all, like I make video art and sound art, and I'm active in different areas of art, and hip hop is a part of it. So I go to art residencies, and this Shanghai was an art residency in a hotel called Watch Art Peace Hotel, where 18 artists come together every year. Stay there for 3 to 6 months and create something, their own project, or they can also collaborate. And that was like that. It was from last summer, and I met an American artist.
Salome MC of hip hop as a medium, as a genre for you, that it connects people from around the world.
It's true, especially after moving out of Iran, and I moved to Japan to study my master's, and then I did art residencies in all parts of the world, and it was always you meet new people and you connect with the local community, and then at some level you realize that we all boil down to the same essence when it's as human beings, and then it's and that's and that's what you want to kind of express through hip hop too, just so. And that particular video in Shanghai is really like about that, just like the essence of just celebrating existence as humans. And that artist, Don Porcello, actually, he's a great visual artist, and he's a sculptor. He was also a musician. We were talking about this like global identity, and how today the borders are being all blurred, and so he thought so
really
that's how it came together, yeah.
Well, I love what she's saying about the borders being blurred, and I love it even more because we have a tweet here. This is from someone who's not in Bangladesh, but she has a question for our Bangladeshi guests. And so Imali says, you are unorthodoxly cool. I think that's a really big compliment.
Wow.
Big question, though, is does this rub religious Bangladesh nationals the right way or the wrong way? How are you perceived at home?
Like artistic, they have to face something in like at home, like you have to deal with your own living, right? So family does say that you have to get down with your own future and something, but it's on artists. We have to prove ourselves. Like 3 years ago, my mom was like thinking about me, what I'm gonna do. and now I'm running in a radio show. I work in a radio show as a program artist. I work for my radio own show. So yeah, I'm getting paid and I'm doing it. So I don't think about selling copies or selling tickets. So yeah, it's like a balance, but you need to get the cheat code. Yeah, it's like that.
I was trying to imagine what you were doing as on a State Department program, this next level program with a hip hop artist from around the world.
It's a beautiful
What's going on?
It's a beautiful experience. It's a cultural experience. We're being lots of people from different countries, b-boys, DJs, singer, bow singer.
I'm gonna play a little bit of a freestyle.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe just play a little
we
bit.
did it last morning. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Fresh from the next level program. Here we go.
Hey. বাংলা ততবার সব চুপ মনোযোগ কথা আমি শুরু করে গীতিকার নিজেটা নিজেই প্রচার ম্যাটেরিয়াল গুলো শুনে বাকি সব বেকার লাইফস্টাইল আমি শুট পুরো লোকাল খারাপ ছেলে দেখি যাবতীয় কন্ট্রোভার্সিয়াল নবজাত কোকা বলে আমি কমার্শিয়াল ডানা কাটা পড়িয়ে বলে আমি নাকি স্পেশাল তুমি জানা কাটা পড়িয়ে আমি লেট কথা তো চলো খেলি আমরা আলিফ লেলা দীপদাপ তদনগ যত করে জিনিসপাতি কইরা ফালাই আমরা রুমটা ময়লা.
See, I am just so amazed that you have people from all over the world, and I can see Salome MC is like bopping away. Soultana is all doing different language, hip hop. How's that? How do you freestyle?
See, I was like talking about it's the energy.
It's the energy.
Yeah, it's the energy. When you release it, and people who really share same kind of thoughts or same kind of energy, they'll get it.
Could we do it now? Would that be a dangerous thing to try and freestyle right now around the world?
Right now?
All right, you start.
Okay.
All right.
You want me freestyle?
Yeah, freestyle. Salome is like, what? Salome, okay, you go. So we're going to start. So Salome's in Turkey.
Okay, all right. I'll go in Persian.
All right, in Persian.
شناورم شرم جای خاصی نمیرم و زیگزاگی از انتخابام مسیرم عجله ای نیست جز عجله و به بطی نیست پیاده میرم واسه رپم التهابام وسیلم.
Hey.
Black Zang.
ডান হাতে চুলকানি তার মানে এখন হবে মোটা টাকা কামানি ক্যাশ এত ফাস্ট নাই কোনো থামানি র্যাপ এত স্মুথ পুরো আমদানি রপ্তানি আমি হইলাম সেই পোলা যা রেগুলারে দিনকাল চলতো খালি পকেটে এখন নোট গুনি না আর এখন টাকা পয়সা সব ডিজিটে আমার টাইম তুই খাইস না টাকা পয়সা কথা না হইলে তুই আইস না বিজি থাকি নিজে কামে পুরা উড়া ধুরা.
Can you pick up from there?
كنهضر بيني وبين راسي كنسول شنو بغا وشنو خاصني شحال من ضربه في الظهر علمتني نصبر نحن في ملاشي واخا حاسب حقوقي ضايعه عطيت كتر ما خديت لا شفتيني قانحت العالم ديالي بيدي رسمتو كي بغيت تنتي كوني كي بغيتي كوني مرا وقاده ثقه في راسك حافظه صوابك عارفه قيمتك
Soultana, we are impressed. Thank you so much. So Mazi, is that the power of hip hop, that it doesn't matter what language you speak, there's a connection? Is that the true power of hip hop? Is that the diplomacy part of it?
I mean, I think that's a huge part of it, especially for the artist. I think, though, the other piece of it is the freedom to be able to say what you want. In most societies, including the United States, there are so few platforms where people are able to just be free to say what they say, which is why social media is so popular, why it is that various kinds of music are so popular. It is the ability to be able to share what you think with whomever is willing to listen.
Malika, what's the audience making of this?
Well, it's interesting. There is some criticism. A lot of people are relating to it. But, here at the stream, we decided to ask this question, whether or not hip hop could be used as a propaganda tool, really. And we're asking it on the Streams app. And of course, you can download it at streams.jazeera.com to answer that question. We want to hear from you, and we'll get that in the post show.
All right. So, Black Zang, stand over there. We're going to have Black Zang do some spoken word as we go out of this stream show. We are going to be picking up for you stream.aljazeera.com, and that is in the post show. We will take Mazi and Black Zang, Soultana and Salome MC to the post show. Hopefully you can join us. You can talk to them a little bit more there. #AJStream. But right now, from Bangladesh, with spoken word in Bangla, BZ.
Yeah.
Take it away.
I'm all ready. First of all, I want to shout out to Bangladesh, Bangla Rap, and Uptown Locals forever. Let's get down with this. আমার ভিতরের আওয়াজ বাহিরেতে শোনা যায় না আর বাহিরের আওয়াজ জায়গা মতো পৌঁছায় না এই দুই চোখে যা দেখে তা মুখে বলা যায় না আর যদি যায় বলা তো ভায়া কানে পোষায় না বিজি মিথ্যা লিখতে চায় না বাস্তবের বায়োস্কোপের থেকে তুইলা ধরে আয় না তোর সামনে যা যা আছে তা আগের থেকে সেটিং তুই চলিস না আরেকজনের উন্নতিতে তুই তো জ্বলিস না এই কথা তো গড়ে না নিজেরে বলি আর চেষ্টা করি যাতে নিজের মতো চলি so thank you God for keeping on me blessed and thank you mom for making me the best yeah
I understand that last little bit of Bangla right there. It's true. Hip hop crosses all barriers. That was called Dark Matter. Come back up here on the set. That's fantastic. It's really, really intriguing that it's somehow the beat makes everything understandable. I'm following what BZ is doing, Mazi. We're all following it, and I have not a clue what he's talking about.
That makes two of us.
But I'm enjoying it. In your work, when you travel around, what is it that surprises you as you go to different countries and this genre, which is an American genre, is everywhere?
So I think that most scenes or communities kind of go through the same transition, which is that when they first get it, they imitate it, then they work to find their own, and then they innovate. And so I think that depending on how long hip hop has been in your community determines kind of where your scene is. So the fact that you have artists on this show who are like, I'm the first person to do it, 15 years later, now there's a whole community around it.
Yeah, we've got a lot of firsts as well. I mean, Soultana was talking about earlier about how when she started out, there wasn't really many people doing that. I know Salome Mc, for you in Iran, it's breaking down boundaries and barriers for you, and then BC for you in Bangladesh. The same thing, you're kind of pushing.
Yeah, we're pushing, right? Like, because hip-hop, we talk truth. And people don't want to listen it. So we have to deal with some stuff, but yeah, we get down with it. And nowadays, people are appreciating it, promoting it. We promote each other. So yeah, it's a good thing.
I mean, you mentioned your mum.
Yeah.
Does she like you doing hip hop?
Yeah, she's Sri Lankan.
Does she get down with it as you do?
Yeah.
Are you not fibbing? You're like your mum really like you're doing your stuff, and your mum really.
She's awesome person.
She's into it.
She's awesome person.
Really. That's what mums have to do. Malika.
Well, there's a question that came in for you, Soultana. This is from Chinemo, who says, I'm asking if the Moroccan government does support hip-hop music in your country, and how supportive are they? And of course, we know, as people that follow the news, that there have been arrests of rappers in Morocco who've done jail time for their rap. So how do you walk that line?
Yeah, first of all, if I want to talk about the government, I'm against the government 100%. And always talking about what they are doing for artists, for the people. So they are not supporting hip-hop or any kind of music or art, especially hip-hop or especially rap music, because we are talking about politics and social issues. We are always against the system, against the government. Yeah. At the same time, I'm not. If I want to talk about the rappers that they were arrested for the politic music here in Morocco, I will say that I'm with and against at the same time, because because I'm not going to insult you so I can change you. This is the problem. They were insulting the king, they were insulting some people, the police, and all other people. So it's not by insulting somebody, it's by changing with good words. And because the freedom of expressing yourself in music, the freedom of music in Morocco, it's a little bit hard. You can't talk about all kinds of stuff, and that's why we released a song named Match that it's talking about the youth, the new generation of hip hop, of rap music, that they are talking about what Americans like 50 Cent, like Kendrick Lamar, like Dr. Dre, they are talking about, and they are imitating all kinds of music here. So this is the problem. It's a kind of like 50% the government and 50% of the people, that they are not changing their mentality, so we can change the government and we can make rights for real artists. And that's it. I'm against and with.
Busy? Yeah, I heard you go all the way through that. So there's obviously something that resonates.
No, it does work it out, you know, because there'll be a part of people who doesn't appreciate, and there'll be a part of people who push it.
Right.
Now we got to get it down. Like our Bangladesh hip hop age is like almost like 12 years or 10 years, so we're still about to get down. And yeah, world is ready almost, I think. Yeah.
Mazi, out of the artists that you've seen here, what do you think kind of joins them all together?
I mean, they all have a shared love of humanity, or else they wouldn't be willing to share their own stories, their own creativity, to be able to amplify the stories of those who are voiceless. And I think that that is part of what attracts hip hop, attracts people to hip hop, this idea that they can give voice to the voiceless, because at some point they were voiceless and no one knew their story. I think that the question, I kind of missed one of the questions earlier when they asked about hip hop has the ability to bring people together but not necessarily to do something. I think that's actually part of the gift of hip hop, that one of the godfathers of hip hop, Africa Bambaataa, one of the first things he did was create an organization. So some of the work that people are talking about doing in their home countries is literally a part of the formation of the culture, bringing together artists to not just create art, but to create difference and to create change. And the art becomes a reflection of that change or that aspiration, but it's not just the artist who can do the work. Most people don't even know that hip hop, like in its founding, had 5 elements, which are DJing, graffiti, MCing, and b-boying, but also knowledge of self. This idea that you can be the change you want to see in the world, but first you have to change yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Salome MC, for you in Iran, well, when you came out of Iran and you're now based in Turkey, what are you trying to do with your music? Do you have that aim to, I need to change the world? Are you just trying to write great lyrics? What are you doing?
I think, I understand that. I mean, I think at some level, eventually we want what we do to have some effect and lead to something, which is change. But I personally don't believe that I can do like a real big change right away, very quickly, or like throw big slogans here and there. I think if I affect what I say can resonate with 1 person, 2 person, and that will have a butterfly effect and will lead to something great. Maybe in further future, I like change locally, very organically, and I think that will have a greater effect in the long term. So what I do is just try to stay real, share my experiences, and hope that a person or 2 will get inspired and resonate with it.
And Femi, I think the majority of people online would say the same thing that you heard Salome say, is that if I can affect 1 person, then I've made a difference. So there's a video comment here from South Africa. I'd like you all to have a listen to Rushe.
Hi, my name is Rushe and I'm from South Africa. And I believe indeed hip hop is a powerful youth medium that can bring about social change and political change. If we look at Senegal and the role that hip hop played in bringing down the previous president, we have to acknowledge the power that youth carries in this medium that we call hip hop.
So Soultana, he gave an example there. I know you also have a story about 2 girls who came to you after hearing your song, and they were working in one field and they changed. Can you tell us that story?
Yeah, can I say the big word first? It's kind of like those girls they were prostitutes, I'm sorry for the word. And then when they listened to my song, Soultana, that it's a real song about my friend, they called me on the phone and they told me that, we need this kind of like, we want to change our lives. We want to change something in our lives. And they did it. And now I know that they are working and they got kids with their homes, with their husbands. And this is the good thing. Like Salome said, it's not about changing the whole world, because I think we were rapping from decades and nothing is changing, especially in politics. So if you change just 1 person, it will make you feel better and make you feel that your message is there. It's something that it's spreading in the world after that. So this is it. And sure, by music, by rap music, because we're not talking about like Nicki Minaj, like other kind of mainstream hip hop or rap music. So we are just talking about social and political issues, and that's why our messages are going so slow. Because if we are marginalized our music, it's going to be so fast.
I am intrigued by how we freestyled and just literally off the cuff. I think it'd be a really good way to end the show as well. Let's start with Soultana, and then we will do Salome, and then Black Zang. And I'm just going to allow you to hand off to each other and see what happens. Hopefully it won't be a hot hip hop mess. Hopefully it'll be something organic and wonderful. Sultana, you start freestyling. Thank you.
اوكي. كل مرة نتلاقى بيها كلامها كله كان عليها كرهته بلا ما نعرفو يمكن حيت عارفاها تبغيه عطاتو الصرف عمرها كله تسف عطاها كذوب وراها طريق منها تجيب الصرف بالخف حالها حل بنات في عمرها شافوا الويل شربوا من الرزمات مع طفاتو الليل باقي طويل علاش تقولوا بنت الزنقة ماشي انا اللي اختاريت علاش تقولوا بنت الزنقة واش تعرفوا شحال قاسيت يا وسلومي give him
I was religious, I was nihilist, I was existentialist, libertarian, socialist, existentialist. Good for being the good picture, it will work in a lecture, but don't forget who you are. Change won't come in a lecture. Generally against authority of states, get it? But change has to come locally. It won't come in a haste. It has to come with patience, it has to come with sacrifice, it has to come with pain.
God gifted, talented, urban local poet. মুখ চলে মাইকে যেমন গতিতে ছুটে রকেট গতিবেগ মাপার মতো মিটার হয় না আবিষ্কার ফিল্ডে বিজি প্রতিযোগিতার কি দরকার রাত জায়গা স্বপ্ন পূরণ করি ঘুমায় দেখি না ধোঁয়া পানি কিছুই না প্যারা মস্তিষ্কে সান্ত্বনা ভাবিস না এটা কল্পনা কোনো সিনেমার গল্প না টাকা পয়সা আমার পেশা হিপ হপ হলো আমার নেশা yeah that's what's up
I want to say what's up so badly. All right, so guests, Black Zang and Mazi and Soultana, Salome Mc, it has been such a pleasure spending time in your company. It doesn't really matter where we are in the world and what language you're speaking. It seems like hip-hop is just, everybody understands hip-hop. Thanks to the community. How did they enjoy the show?
Well, I'll leave you with this tweet and that will tell you.
Is it a hip-hop tweet?
Slightly. It doesn't rhyme, but it doesn't need to.
Right.
Samik says, I sometimes don't understand the lyrics of the hip-hop songs, but I love them. It makes me happy and energetic.
All right, did I write that tweet? Thank you very much, guests. We will see you online. Take care.